Hey, what's up? Hello. Welcome to this week's tarot forecast. So, the first card that we are going to draw is going to be just a week, not a week. It's going to represent your week as a whole. Like, what are some themes that are coming up this week, just in general? So, the first card we have is the Emperor. So when I think of the Emperor, I tend to kind of think of hard work sometimes. I mean, you really had to work hard to get to be in the Emperor's place. The Emperor also is represented by Aries. So Aries is very much taking initiative, being bold, being courageous, doing something fun and exciting. If we think about Aries, at least the Aries that I know are the people with lots of heavy Aries placements, they tend to really chase fun, chase what they're passionate about, and the people I know with heavy Aries placements sometimes can be a little scattered, which, is totally fine. We all go through moments. But so maybe a theme this week is taking initiative, being courageous and being bold and going for it, but also like reining it in. Because the thing about the Emperor is that he rules with an iron fist. He can really rule with an iron fist. And so that could be something. It's like, if you feel a little scattered, like just take one courageous step, and like that one courageous step will help you like hone it in. You know what I mean? So that's the first card. And there's actually a second card on the floor because I think every time I do this, a card falls on the floor. So I will get that card. Interesting. The second card, the card that was on the floor for the theme of this week, is the Three of Wands. And it's kind of interesting that with the Emperor, I said taking like one bold step, because if we look at the Three of Wands, you can kind of see he's like surveying out. It kind of feels to me whenever I look at this card that like he's about to take one bold, courageous step with his one wand. Oh, and that's really interesting. I said you might feel scattered and to pick one thing and to go with it, because if you look at this card, he only has one wand in his hand and he's leaving the two wands behind as he like goes forward and like starts his journey, if we kind of at the beginning of this journey. So yeah, that's the theme this week. It feels like being courageous, being bold, because it's kind of interesting. This feels like when I look at these two cards together that he is taking the one step with his one wand. Wands in the tarot represent your passion. They can represent your emotions. They can represent, oh, it's kind of fun. That is really interesting. I had said with Aries, they tend to chase fun. So like with the one idea or with the one wand that you really feel passionate about to go forward, you have the capacity to then step into the Emperor. This kind of feels like, oh, the beginning of the Emperor's journey, and like he finally made it to this status. So that feels like, the theme of this week, taking one bold step. So the next card is something unexpected. What are some unexpected surprises or challenges that are going to come up this week for everyone? I had two cards flip over, but I'm not going to take them. With like two cards to fall out. Oh, I got three cards falling out. I said two, three fell out, so I will take these three. We have a lot of major arcana cards. Interesting. We have the Hanged Man, we have Death, and then I have to get the third card off the floor. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. So again, Hanged Man, Death, Ace of Pentacles. It is really interesting. This unexpected surprise or this unexpected challenge coming up is, I'm hearing like focusing on a new novel solution. I'm getting new because of death. If we think about just death in general, it is both, it's a big transformation. It can be somewhat of a rebirth, especially, I feel like I point this out every time I see the death card, but the sun in the background of like a new day, a new dawn starting over, and you kind of need to, quote unquote kill off, what's not good for you anymore. And especially if we think about the theme of this week of moving forward with that one wand that you feel passionate about, or that is, fun or whatever. It's kind of like a death to all the things that you're leaving behind in order to transform into something new. And then with this Hangman, that is kind of where I'm seeing like the new novel solution. Because if we look at the Hangman, he is not like tightly hung. Like he could bend over and undo his like leg brace. I don't know. I don't know the tie, his leg tie, and get up and go. But the hangman, it's an opportunity after judgment has come down to like sit and think about like, okay, what should I do? What new things should I do? How do I not get myself in this situation again? And with the crown of like enlightenment behind him, it's like, oh, I've understood this new novel step. So maybe that is kind of like an unexpected surprise, is like while you're figuring out like what new thing do you want to go forward with, what new, I guess, passion do you want to become disciplined on in order to become that emperor. There's like a it's new, it's novel, it's a solution you probably wouldn't have thought about, but you have to like pause for a second before you can move forward. Again, with this Three of Wands, he's like surveying the land. So there's like themes of like pausing, reflecting, coming up with new novel solutions, and then moving forward. And then with the Ace of Pentacles, to me, I just feel like this is like a marker of success, as in like once you pause, once you think, once you come up with a novel solution, you're able to move forward into a space of like monetary surprises, because Ace of Wands is like literally this hand's offering you a coin, it's offering you a chance of monetary stability, any type of physical material wealth, whatever you resonate with. Maybe it's not money specifically, maybe it's a new house, a new car, or something. But it's like once you take this novel step forward, the universe is going to like reward you in ways that like you find really surprising and exciting. So that's what I see for some surprises and challenges for this week. For the third card, I am actually going to draw one of these begin oracle cards for how you can best support yourself this week. Because jumping into something new, picking one thing to focus on and really shape yourself into being the emperor that you want to be, you need to support yourself. You need support by others, especially Three of Wands. Three is usually a collaboration card. So you not only do you need support from, potentially your network, your family, your friends, whoever, but you're going to need ways to support yourself. So I'm going to draw a card. Interesting. Trust. A lot of trust. And that is really interesting too, because it does take a lot of trust to take that one big courageous step forward on a journey where you're unsure. Because if we look again at the Three of Wands, you can't really see, there isn't much. It kind of like just looks like a big desert, and you're like, how am I going to go from that desert to this emperor? And I'm seeing a lot of trust in those steps. So I'm actually going to read out of the book for this card. So we have card number 14, trust. The kind of keywords for this card are the ability to see the bigger picture, relief from stagnicity. I don't think that's a word, but it's interesting. I had said fun earlier, so chasing something that's fun or taking with you something that's fun, trusting and seeing goodness, and connecting with the divine. The herbal ally for this card is mugwort, and the crystal ally is labradorite. So if you're into crystals or herbs, those go with this card. So the meditation for this is, what does trust mean to you? Do you trust yourself? Do you trust others? Take some time and really think about these questions. Again, with the hangman, take a second, reflect, come up with novel solutions. You'll like, sometimes with the hangman, I think of like inspiration or like an epiphany just hitting us. The woman on this card is falling towards boundless water. Her limbs are relaxed and mugwort shields her face. She is not bracing herself for impact. In our busy day-to-day lives, we're often just preparing or bracing for what's coming next. But does this help us adapt when we need to? Does it offer a sense of well-being? Being rigid is often detrimental to well-being. This card is an invitation to find trust and ease within yourself. Change is constant and trust is essential to adapting. And that's really interesting, because I even said with the emperor, sometimes the emperor can be really stiff. Sometimes the emperor can really rule with an iron fist. And so as you're taking this journey to your own emperor, I'm like juggling cards, to your own emperor status, like not being so rigid, not being so stiff, being a little more loose and intuitive, and again, having fun, using your passions to move yourself forward, are really important for this card. This card indicates there are infinite possibilities around you. Try to feel at ease, even if you're not sure where you're heading. Trusting yourself, your intuition, and your body aren't always easy, but this card asks you to begin a practice that helps you trust yourself. It may just be writing or saying out loud the affirmation below. And the affirmation is, I am grounded and aware. My intuition is here to guide me. I'm so excited for your journey to your own emperor status. I would love to know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know your ahas, your oh no's, all of those things. Like the video if you like the video, and I'll see you next week. Bye.